Ladies, gents, and gender queers, what's good, baby? I'm glad that you're here. How do you like the new atmosphere? I'm back in my childhood home. Pew, pew. Welcome to day 17 of 31 days of horror movies, where today we are watching the iconic Silence of the Lambs. Now, Silence of the Lamb, not plural. Anyway, of the Lambs? Is it lamb or lambs? Hold on. Lambs, it is plural. Period. Don't. So like we always do, y'all, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to watch. I'm going to have commentary on it. And then we're going to talk about it afterwards. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. It's some scary shit. Okay, Jodie Foster, eat. Yes, girl, eat down. Anthony Hopkins, eat. Maybe not. So far we are finding Clarice. She is being asked, I believe, so she's in the FBI Academy. And she's a new cat, new around this male-dominated field. And she's been called by the captain, I believe, because he's about to send her on the task. And they're showing some newspapers about this murderer called Bill Skins. Oh, those are some gruesome pictures. Okay. So, she is training to graduate and be in behavioral sciences working under this gentleman right here, right? And so he tells her that they are interviewing these murderers to try to see, this other murderer that is doing what he's doing, if they're tied together or if they could possibly help them, and that he's sent many folks to go talk to this one gentleman and no one can do it. And so he wants to try a different route and he's going after her. He's heard that she has been doing great in her classes and that she could possibly talk to him. And she says, who? And he says, the iconic Hannibal Lecter. She called him Hannibal the Cannibal. So he wants her to go to just see if he will talk to her or if she'll just give a report seeing what he's doing. So she asks the captain, Hannibal's been locked up for so many years. Do you think that something about him is related to Buffalo Bill? And he's like, just do the report. Don't share anything personal. You don't want Hannibal in your head because he is a monster and a pure psychopath. So she's about to get trained by someone to go talk to Hannibal. And now we meet the iconic Hannibal Lecter. Oh my gosh. Ew. Baby, this scene was wild. It wasn't nothing but 2 minutes, but this scene was freaking wild. They doing like a ping pong game of who can outsmart the other one, who can outwit the other one, who can out psychoanalyze the other one. And it got heated. He told her to go check on an old patient of his, and Anthony Hopkins is a talented actor, and so is Jodie Foster. Oh gosh. So Clarice went to go check out a storage that Hannibal's old patient had, and they were like, this has been paid in full, and so it's just been here. She went in there, found the patient decapitated, and have inklings to believe that Buffalo Bill, this new serial killer, is the one who did it. Buffalo Bill used to be Hannibal's old patient as well. And so Hannibal is like playing mind games still, but he's like, I'll help you catch him. And she's like, you know who he is. And he's like, in due time, that psycho shit. And now we are seeing Buffalo Bill about to get somebody else. And he looks creepy. They also said that Buffalo Bill mainly goes after women and that he cross-dresses. So we're going to find out where this all is coming from. So something so dope about this movie is that it really shows, and it's crazy that this movie was in, 1980 something, and that these male-dominated workforces are still the same. But it's nice to see them addressing the issue of when a woman is in the workforce, how men act, which is usually like, let me not. So we're getting closer to finding out what is the motive, and that the killer, Buffalo Bill, put a very rare moth cocoon in one of his victims' throats. And then they showed us Buffalo Bill loves butterflies, and there's something about transformation, and it's the cross-dressing for me, the only going after women, the going after their skin, and this butterfly moth transformation becoming something else. Yeah, something's there, but this is wild. So we're getting a little bit more help from Hannibal Lecter, and I don't know if it's necessarily help. He's agreed to help her, as she has agreed to help him if he allows, if he helps them catch Buffalo Bill, that he'll be transferred somewhere where he can look out a window, and where once, no, 1 week a month, he's able to go to this island and be able to walk around, because he talks about how he can't see anything and how he knows he'll be locked up forever, but he wants to be able to, see the trees and everything outside in life. And so she's telling him some things about her family, what she's been through, and she says that Buffalo Bill has been placing these butterfly cocoons in people's body after he has murdered them. And that there is something about change, that Buffalo Bill thinks that he's trans, that because he doesn't belong, so he's equating that to trans people, but that's not the case, and that there's actually something within him that he's placing on that identity, but it's not that identity, and he wants to be the butterfly and moth of this change. But this is so good. So I just watched the scene, and if you watch my previous video, I said that I did this scene in undergrad, right? The scene in which Hannibal is in the actual cage and she's circling him, and he tells her to tell the story about the lambs, hence the movie Silence of the Lambs. I just want to say how he plays this role, Anthony Hopkins. Again, that's how you know a movie is effective. I felt like he was just over my shoulder. Just it was so creepy, and it just I don't know what I thought this scene was before in undergrad, but it's so much deeper. He is a master, and Jodie Foster is masters of this craft, like amazing. Baby, they just did the scene when Hannibal escapes. I am gagged. Hannibal done escaped. Clarice is not pressed at all. She just like, I'm still trying to figure this out. And so she's going to the original girl who was taken, going to her home to see if anything's there. Because Hannibal says something about this person covets, and how do we begin to covet? We covet what we see every day. And so she goes to her home. I've just finished it, and I don't even want to watch the movie. Watch the movie. The Silence of the Lambs is a 1991 American psychological horror thriller film directed by Jonathan Demme, written by Ted Talley. Top tier, everything, adapted from Thomas Harris's 1988 novel of the same name. It stars Jodie Foster, iconic as Clarice Starling, a young FBI trainee who is hunting a serial killer named Buffalo Bill. Ted Levine also aided, very interesting choice of words, who skins his female victims. To catch him, she seeks the advice of the imprisoned Dr. Hannibal Lecter, Anthony Hopkins, the GOAT, a brilliant psychiatrist and cannibalistic serial killer. This movie is a 10 out of 10. This movie is one of the best movies I've ever seen. I don't know what else to say. Watch the movie. Join me for day 18 where we're going to be watching The Omen. This movie had so many layers. Boy,